Hey guys, I'm Ash.
And I'm Pete.
We're two friends with a combo of 7 kids ranging from toddlers to 20s and 2 crazy husbands.
Our paths were not easy. With childhood battle wounds, divorce, second marriages and all, we somehow found each other. And together we talk real life, laugh, cry, and figure out how to survive the day.
Music is by Dustbowl Champion. To hear Dustbowl Champion's newest hits, search Dustbowl Champion on Spotify. Hey guys, it's Ash and P.
Hey, Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. Not Happy Holidays, Merry Christmas.
Mm-hmm. Merry Christmas. And the only reason I'll accept a Merry Christmas and a Happy Holiday would be like if you're talking about New Year's too. But I want Merry Christmas in there.
True. Yes.
But then I feel like you should just say Merry Christmas, Happy New Year.
We went through, this was right before Christmas, I think we went through the Chick-fil-A line and the gal goes, "Oh, Merry Christmas." And I go, "Merry Christmas." And Tony goes, "Oh, I forget like where you can say that." And I'm like, you can say it anywhere.
Yeah.
Okay. Like if someone else doesn't want to say it, that's on them.
Exactly.
But you shouldn't feel like you cannot say Merry Christmas.
Yes.
Like you can always say it. And then if someone doesn't reciprocate and they want to say Happy Holidays, then that's fine, whatever. But I'm going to say Merry Christmas.
I do think that a lot of people feel that way though, because, you know, like a lot of people will say Happy Holidays. And I hope I don't offend anyone when I do this, but I feel like a lot of people say Happy Holidays because they're trying to be politically correct. I think that if it wasn't a thing, I feel like most people would probably say Merry Christmas.
Hopefully people are just trying to like brought in like the Thanksgiving, Christmas, Hanukkah, New Year's, everything all in one when they say Happy Holidays. But I just feel like, you know, 'tis the season, you know, and it's Christmas season. And so I love saying Merry Christmas.
Well, I just always say Merry Christmas because I think other people are trying to be polite and not say something that might offend. And so they'll say like Happy Holidays and I'll say, "Oh, Merry Christmas." But I don't know. Maybe I'm offensive. Probably. Yeah. I probably am. Oh, well. That's fine.
That's fine. Yeah. And to that, I will have a little toast of champagne.
I won't because I didn't get a drink and I don't think I'm getting one. He has not responded at all. So
okay, so it's 4 days after Christmas. I was on a Christmas tour. I felt like I did the Christmas tour this year. This is obviously the first year where we're living away and not living at home. And usually we host and we only go the weekend before Christmas to Stockton with Tony's family. And then we come home, we get ready for our Christmas with my family. And then we're kind of homebodies. And then we get to like just focus on our family and be home and be chill and enjoy. And then like we roll into New Year's, right? Well,
yes,
that was not the case this year. Holy cannoli. For the families who travel for Christmas, I need tips. Like I am trying to, and I don't want to do it this week because it's so fresh and my house still looks like Christmas bombs went off in every room. And I'm just trying to YOLO and like live with my children and my husband right now while we're all kind of home. Tristan's home from school. The girls are on vacation. We had to have Christmas here the day after. And so I'm just trying not to be like my regiment self and trying to let loose. Is that your waiter?
I thought my cocktail waiter was coming, but I guess not.
Gosh. And so I haven't gotten into like nitty gritty, which is kind of what I started doing a little today, but not a whole lot. But I need tips. Like, how do you do this?
What is the nitty gritty you were going to try to get into?
like cleaning up
Oh.
everything.
Oh, okay, okay.
Like cleaning everything. I don't even know when, I guess like over the next week, I'm going to take all my trees and Christmas down. But there is just so much. And I don't know where to begin. But honestly, my biggest thing is like, I need tips on how do people who travel for Christmas to go see family, how do you do it? Because I feel like I fell short in a few areas. Like Santa didn't come Christmas morning to where we were. Santa came to our home. And that was a little hard to like navigate. And I probably could have split Santa's gifts between there and here. By the
Yes.
way, guys, this is not going to be an episode you want to hear out loud with your children. Not that
Right.
really any of our episodes are. We talk about a lot of things. We talk about sex. We talk about,
Oh gosh.
we cuss. Oh God, there goes Ashley. She's
No,
gone.
it's
Um,
I'm just an idiot. That's fine. Sorry, 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 sorry.
um, but like, this is not going to be an episode that you want to talk like hear in the car. So I would say get your, oh, there's the
Yes,
waitress.
sir.
Oh, thank you, waiter. Appreciate you.
Can you see him? No, huh?
No, no.
Oh. Yeah, she's got a fake background on, Jason. You should.
Oh
With your
God. Oh
face. Did
gosh.
you hear
Yeah.
him?
Yes. He's
See?
so
See?
stupid.
This is you guys don't understand the frustration that happens as P and I are setting up because I start
Ugh.
getting annoyed about everything Jason has on his desk and what you guys can see. And I already told him earlier this week that I hate this stupid hat thing that he hung up on the back of our door. And he's like, "Why? I need my hat." I said, "Well, one, I hate that it's there because it's ugly. Two, I hate that you screwed it into the freaking door because he
Also, why
screwed
isn't it in a
it in."
closet?
Thank you.
Why isn't it in a
Why would
closet?
you ever put it on the backside of a door into a
Yeah.
room? No,
Yeah.
so dumb. Like, guess what? I do have another mirror in like a full body mirror in our bedroom, but it's decorative. It's like it
It's
is
pretty.
okay. Yes. The one that I've had for years and years and years is on the back of our closet door. Uh a
Oh
full
yeah.
body
Yeah.
mirror,
Yeah.
right? Getting
Yeah.
ready to check
Yeah.
I've had that there forever because that's where you put stuff like that on the back of a door. But
Yes.
no, not him. Well, yeah, he does. He puts it on the back of an actual door, not a closet door.
It's also an office space. So
Yeah,
probably not
it's
the
not a
most
bedroom.
right.
Like, I wouldn't want it on the back of our bedroom door either, to be
No.
honest,
No.
but I just think it's the
Do you guys have a
dumbest
small
things.
closet? Like a small master closet?
Yes, I think, it could just be that the closet in here is probably not bigger. It just feels bigger, I think, because there's no clothes in it.
In the office?
Yeah. So there's no clothes in it. Um, it just isn't. I feel like because on one side is his clothes, one side is my clothes. I feel like it's just like there's no room in our master
So
closet.
is there room to put organizers in the office and have him have his space in the office for his hats and stupid shit?
Um, no, because I stole that space with all my craft stuff.
Do you have organizers like like an organizing shelf in the closet?
Um, like I have our old entertainment center, the old one that was in the living room.
Uh-huh.
I have that in there. So, like, it
Use
has the
it for
doors and then
shelves.
the shelves in there.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then I use the table, like, to put my sewing machine and some other things on.
Oh, you
Um,
sew?
yes. My grandma was supposed to teach me how to sew before she had her stroke, okay, you jerk, and then she had her stroke, and I didn't get to learn. However, I am gonna sew something. I don't know if it's gonna come out. Luckily, I do know how to rip a stitch out, so it'll be totally fine.
Okay, so
Um,
we can destructive sew, but not actually put things back
yes.
together, which is what sewing is all about.
Well, we will see. I can hand stitch. Can I use a machine? No, because I'm not good with
You
seams.
have a friend that knows how to do all that. Maybe you should have her
Yeah,
come over and
she's
teach
so
you.
fancy though. She's so fancy. She would be so probably annoyed by teaching me.
She would set you up. You just have to like make like pin her down, you know.
Pin her.
Yeah. Don't let her leave.
She's small, so I could pin her
You
down
could.
very easily.
Yeah.
Perfect.
One leg. That's all it takes.
Yes.
Um,
Yeah. No, I really should have her teach me. My grandma did like lightly, but not much before her stroke.
it's
So
really interesting. So Tristan is a sewer in our family, and I am not a sewer. I'm not a sewer. I'm not a baker. I am a
party
savory.
planner. Oh,
I will cook a meal. I will party plan the shit out of your life. I will have all of your vacations planned.
oh yeah.
I'm a planner. I love that kind of stuff. But when it comes to like, cooking, like not even cooking food
Cooking,
is
you're
fine.
fine. Yeah.
But baking and like making things pretty and sewing, I feel like I fail
I think
miserably.
you have to clarify that. Making things pretty, you mean crafting pretty or like sewing that's what you mean because you
Yes.
can make a party pretty. Like you can do amazing parties and they'll look very beautiful. But that's what you mean by
Yeah, I
making
just
something
like I
pretty.
you
I
know what
think
it
it's like
is?
it's
I have a hard time like I can't follow an instruction to the
mm,
T. Maybe
okay, yeah.
that's my problem. Like I cannot follow instructions. I have to be able to
That makes
like
sense.
do as you wish. And then it's like, oh, do as I wish. Well, I think I want a little dabble of this and a little dabble of that. But when I have to like measure shit and like everything has to be fucking perfect and it's the right amount of this and the right amount of that. And the chocolate has to be at this temperature to melt the ball to perfection and all that. I'm like, like I can't do this. That's why rustic chic has been my life
That's
for
probably
how
why
long?
I like to bake because which yes, you can follow recipes on cooking, but I hate cooking. I just hate cooking. I like to bake though. I do like to bake. Um but I hate cooking. But I need like instruction. Like
I
I need to
know.
be told what to
Yeah.
do, how to do it.
And isn't it funny? Our minds are so opposite, but
Yeah.
we are like best friends and soul sisters, but we
It's
are so opposite like that.
but it's like that's how it works, right?
I
Like if we were
guess.
the same, we wouldn't be able to be. But I don't know because I feel like there are some like I guess similarities
Oh, we
to
for sure have similarities. First of
yeah.
all, just like this podcast, we've gone down fucking 17 rabbit holes. We were talking about Christmas and
I would like to point out I don't think that most of that was not my fault. It's Jason's fault. Just
uh,
like everything else today.
sure, Doug, sure.
Jason is just being a rough. Like Denise said.
He's been a rough.
Yes. Okay, so back to Christmas.
Oh no.
Okay.
Okay.
So
Rewind.
I think I think that your splitting of it, like even if you did stockings were brought to wherever you were at and
I
then
think
everything else.
I think I need to plan I think Santa needs to plan certain gifts that are travelable. Does that make sense?
Yes.
That's the
Yes,
hard part
to me
is
it does.
Santa got
Well,
some really big
yeah, a
gifts
high
this
beam is
year.
a difficult thing to take from Clovis back to
Yes,
Vegas.
yes.
Yeah.
I'm like, where the fuck is like Santa's gymnastics bar gonna
No.
fit in the fucking rental? Like, this is not gonna work. So
No.
it was insane. It was an insane travel. We traveled for 6 days before we got home and had Christmas, which I will say the cutest thing ever was Georgia on the way home saying, Mom, when we get home, if Santa came, I want us to wake up like it was Christmas morning. So can you cover my eyes and put us in bed? And then we can come downstairs like it's Christmas morning. And I was
That
like,
is so cute.
yes, absolutely.
That is so
I would love
cute.
that. I would love that. Meanwhile, we're sweating our fucking asses off trying to unload the cars. And the girls are like,
While they're sleeping.
can we wake up now? And we're like, no, get to bed. We have to unload
Santa's
the
not home
car.
yet. Oh.
We have to, we have to, we have to unload the car. Don't come out here. But it was madness. We rented, we have an SUV. I have an SUV. Tony has a truck. And we rented a larger SUV, the largest besides getting like a 15 van. What is it? Those little Sprinter
15-seater
vans.
van? Yep.
Um, we rented
You guys
a
should do an
van.
Econoline next time.
You
Come on.
know, and we probably need to just bite the bullet and buy the car. I've just been holding off for several reasons. One, they're fucking expensive. It's just another expense. Two, we haven't, like, since we've moved, we're leasing. We have not bought in our forever home here in Henderson, or our home basically in Henderson. And so we're leasing, and I'm like, well, you don't buy a car before you buy a house. So you have to wait. And I've been waiting and waiting and waiting. And meanwhile, we've just outgrown my car tremendously. And I have a 3-seater SUV. Well, it wasn't going to be big enough. We've got 3
Three
kids,
row.
3 row.
3 row
What did I
SU
say? 3-seater?
3-seater.
Oh yeah, 3 row. 3 row SUV, 2 giant Labradors, all of our kids, all of our presents, all of our stuff for 6 days.
That's the
2
hard thing, is the presence, I think.
Yeah,
If you were just doing a trip, like, even though the dogs would be that would be a little difficult, it's
but I
everything that you have to take plus gifts.
but I will say, like, we knew even like we were going to have to bring Tristan back home with us. Going there, we had 4 people, right? Me, the car seats are bulky. So
Yeah.
two giant car seats plus us plus the dogs and all of our shit. And then coming back, also bringing Tristan and her stuff. And it was like, we have to rent a bigger car. So we rented a bigger car. Anyway, bottom line is we still were like to the brim, pretty
Yeah.
much. And it was a lot. And I don't know how people do it. I don't know how people travel like this with kids over the holidays. And does maybe in their homes, like I was almost sitting there thinking like God, like, does this mean like maybe we should just drop the whole portion
Yeah.
and it's just about being with family? Or like, how do I balance this? It is a lot, and a lot of it falls on us moms,
Yes.
truthfully. I mean, it really, really does. And I had an elf on the shelf get eaten by my dog.
Oh, yes. Did we have not recorded
I
since
don't think
before that,
so.
huh?
I don't think we did.
I don't think
So
so either.
all of the reels of like that I see on Instagram of like, I just sent everyone one that was hilarious. It was this kid bawling their eyes out because they said the dog ate the elf on the shelf. Well, guess what happens a few days later? And my fucking dog. So we're outside. We're home. We are home. But this, for some reason, this last year has been really difficult. I put up 7 trees, 7 Christmas trees, and we have slowly lost a few decorations on the trees. because one of our dogs can't can't say which one has been eating our decorations on
I
our
don't think
trees.
I knew that.
Yes.
Hmm.
Slowly, they've been disappearing and being eaten. And when we were in Ohio, no. Where did we go? Oh, we went to Universal Studios. So we took the kids to
Oh,
Universal Studios, and our niece watched the dogs, and she had a picture, took proof that the one that we always blame didn't have the decorations in her mouth. It was the other dog, the good one.
no.
Decorations in her mouth. She goes, caught her red handed. She's eating from the trees. And I'm like, what in the hell is going on?
That is bonkers.
Yeah.
That is really crazy to
And
me.
I'm like, she's like 3 years old. There's no reason for her to be going through a puppy stage.
Yeah.
What the heck is going on? And I'm always blaming the other
Oh, for
one.
sure. Yes.
So I'm like, oh my gosh. So we've had decorations eaten, we've had things been eaten, and we're all home. It's a Sunday. We went to church in the morning. We came home. I think it was, we were doing, I was in the middle of doing all of those, like I did projects for the kids' school. So we made
Oh.
these like snowmen out of planks, measured the kids in the classroom. And so I took half home, another mom took half home, and we were going to sand them down and paint them all white and then take them back to school the next day and have the kids do their finger paints on them as snowmen. And so we're in the garage. Tony's like, well, I'll sand them, I'll paint them. And I'm like, okay, well, I'm going to start getting stuff that I need for the parties this week, putting them all together. So I'm in the garage, I'm doing that. The kids are riding their bikes, like having a great Sunday. And Danny's like, I'm going to go in for a little snack. And so I'm like, okay. She comes back out and she is bawling her eyes out. And I'm like, what? What is going on? What happened? They murdered her. They murdered Margaret. I'm like, what? So I
Oh,
run
Margaret.
inside, and our elf on the shelf has puncture wounds in her face from the dogs and slime just coming down her face. Just her clothes are all, she's naked. All her clothes are gone. Could not find her clothes. Well, we found them days later outside, if you
Oh.
know what I mean. But um, yeah, she was
Mm.
all destroyed. So then I run in. I'm like, oh my gosh, dogs. I throw the dogs out. I'm like, motherfuckers. I've been so good about putting her up, but I put her in a car upstairs, and I just thought it's upstairs. Like they're not going to go up there. They're fine down here.
Okay.
Nope, they went up there. And so
Was it in the girl's room or
it was
where was the
by
car?
it was by the Becky tree. So it's by the tree
Oh,
by their
okay.
bathroom. She was
Jeez.
in that car. So I'm like, oh my God. Then Georgia comes in. Georgia's like, our elf is gone. Our dogs ate her. I'm like, OMG. Like, what am I supposed to do now? So
Oh my
again,
goodness.
this is not an episode for children ever. Um, so if you've got children, turn their little ears off or turn us off until you put headphones in. Um, so I am like, okay, I don't know if anyone knows this, but I've been doing this elf on the shelf for 12 fucking years.
Yeah,
Okay.
you're so disgusting.
12 fucking years. I mean, talk about, I need an award here. Like, I need to close the fucking gap. These kids need to be done with the shit. I need to be able to move the fuck on. Okay. So I'm still bringing the magic 12 years later,
I think
except
you only have 1 year left, to be honest, unless Georgia keeps it to herself. But
she's getting real sassy, huh? She's getting real close to being like asking all the questions. I don't know what's going on with that.
she's at that age where that's when they start, and it's so difficult for them to keep it to themselves.
But I've seen some people come up with some really tricky things that I'm like, okay, okay. I saw one today. It was like they left. I think we got it both on Instagram, but it's like Santa left his wallet behind.
Oh,
That
yes.
was a good one. Good one.
Yeah.
Really good one. I'm gonna
One of
probably what's gonna have to happen is no. What happens is I can't be fucking lazy anymore, and I got to step it the fuck up. Okay.
Mm,
One of my
yeah.
girlfriends is like, "Oh my gosh, you're so extra with your letters and stuff." No, bitch, I'm not fucking extra. This is what I have to fucking do now in order to make the shit real. Okay. Like, this is what I
Yeah.
have to do. This is what it's come to. So I'm like, okay,
Well,
Margaret's down.
look,
Okay. Go ahead.
you guys need more cameras because one of my girls in class today, um, I do first grade at church. She told me how, and guess what? On the camera, because she was like, my sissy came home. She has an older sister who's away at school, I
Uh-huh.
believe. So she's like, my sissy came home. And I was like, oh, she did. She goes, yeah. And guess what? We saw on the camera there was some red. It may have been Santa.
Well,
And
that's
I
the
was
other
like,
thing.
so you need more cameras. You
I
got to,
saw that. I saw someone has cameras in the house and they like had their husband dress and it looked like he came and they checked the cameras and the kids are like, so I'm like, okay, I'm going to have to
Mhm.
do all these extra things
That
like
is
coming up.
way extra.
It
But
is, but
if you want it to continue,
yeah,
or if you don't want to be, if you want to be done with that dumb thing,
just
then just let it go.
okay. But listen to all the parents out there with this elf on the shelf. Just letting you all know, my 12-year-old elf on the shelf don't look like
Oh,
the elf anymore that your guys' elf looks like. Elves have changed. They've gotten fatter.
well,
They they
haven't we all?
they
Okay. Some
they
of
are
some
they
of us have
all
also gotten
I
fatter for
I
so
don't
long.
know if they all just went through COVID, what
Yeah.
happened, but they have all gotten a little bit heavier. They all look much happier now, to be really quite honest, and they're probably even
Mm-mm.
funnier.
They're
But
probably funnier, not happier. It's harder to breathe, harder
but
to
my
move. It's
12-year-old elf is like the original. So
yeah.
when I went to, luckily, I have a backup. I'm pretty sure my backup elf is your elf.
No,
Where did I get it from then? Where did I get this elf from?
mine is all cotton. So yours is plastic, isn't it? Like the face
Yes.
is plastic. Mine is all cotton. So mine is yours is not mine. But was it Molly's? No,
No,
Molly uses hers.
no. So get this. So
Hmm.
somehow, like there was like 2 years ago where I couldn't find my elf, my real elf, Margaret. Somehow I had a backup. Don't know where this elf came from. It happens to be a boy. Okay.
Hmm.
That's why I thought it was yours. It's a boy elf, but I don't know. I cannot remember for the life of me where this elf came from. So one year, I go through all of Christmas. We get to Montauk Christmas, which is the weekend before Christmas. And because my brother and sister-in-law, this is the other part that's troubling. Oh, I haven't even. This is like going to be all. This isn't even going to be about Christmas. This is going to be about the fucking elf. Okay, so everyone does this elf thing a little different. Okay.
Yeah.
So my brother and sister in law bring their elf with them. Their elf travels wherever they go and their kids go. And I'm like,
That's so nice and easy. Yeah.
are you fucking kidding me? Well, don't worry. One time they fucking left their elf. Okay. And then it had to be expedited. Okay.
Yeah.
But they bring their elf every year. So 2 years ago, I think it was, we brought our elf because we asked in advance, are you bringing your elf? And they said yes. And we're like, fuck, now we have to bring our elf. Well, our elf is up there. It's like 2 in the morning because this is what we do. The night we get into town, we stay up until 2 or 3 in the morning, drinking, laughing, catching up, and being stupid. And and we go to set the elves up, and my sister-in-law goes, "Margaret's a boy?" And I was like, "No, Margaret's a girl." And she's like, "I'm pretty sure your elf is a boy." I was like, "No, it's not." And I look and I'm like, "This is our elf. This is the elf we've been using all year long." Like, where did this elf come from? We had been using this random elf for a year, all season. No
Well,
idea where this elf came from. Obviously, I
where
had to
did
get
it
it from
come
somewhere.
from?
I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know. I
Hmm.
swear, I thought that it was yours. So I had this elf. It was a backup elf. When Margaret went down, I pull out the backup elf. And the only thing is, it doesn't have like earrings like a girl. It doesn't have like the hair swished like a girl. And I'm like, shit, Georgia's getting too damn smart. So I got to keep this elf up real high. So I put the elf up high. I write a note about the elf not being well. And Georgia's like, "Where's Margaret's earrings?" I was like, "I don't know. The dogs probably ate them or something. Like, I don't know." I'm like, "Fuck."
The other elf nurses couldn't put back earrings, Georgia.
I'm like,
Missy
"Oh
ate
my
'em.
God." She's like questioning me and I'm getting guilt and I don't know what to do. So I'm like, "What am I going to do?" I look at other elves to pick up along the area, except they all look different. So I'm like, "I'm sorry. My daughter is just too smart. She's going to know. What do I do?" So I text my girlfriend and I'm like, who has a child, their first is like closer to Tristan's age. So I know they did the same shit that I did at the same time. And I'm like, by chance, because she's got little ones now too, by chance, do you have Kenzie's elf? And do you use Kenzie's elf? And she said, all my kids have their own elves, which I'm like, can you imagine doing like
Mm-mm.
one elf for every child? Holy shit. So I was
I
like,
didn't even wanna do one elf for 2 kids.
I'm like, I mean, it's kind of smart because they can like keep them forever, whatever. But I'm like, God, that's a lot of work. So I'm like, okay, can I buy this elf from you? She's like, you can have it. Like, I still have Kenzie's elf. You can have it. I'm like, it probably looks like my elf did, which it was the exact elf. And
Yeah.
like, look at the difference. I mean, there is a difference. It is crazy. So if you're an old parent like me and you've got little ones,
Don't use the same one.
don't, because it's gonna be different. And if you ever run into an incident where the dog eats it or it gets, I don't know, fucking lost or I don't know, something, you're fucked. Okay.
This is also a note to the makers of Elf on a Shelf. Don't do this to parents.
I
Make those name things
know.
all look exactly the
Yeah.
same.
Don't be like
That's
Apple.
rough.
Don't be like
No.
Apple and change the fucking charger on us.
No,
Okay.
because you can't do
Just
that with kids and
no,
magic.
no. So she's shipping her to me. It doesn't come on time. I'm like, oh my God. Meanwhile, I have this idea in my head. I'm like, because the girls are so like, what if the dogs get her again? What do we do? Is she going to be better? So I'm like, you know what? I've been doing this a long fucking time. Okay. Why I'm drinking champagne. I have been doing this a long time. If I'm going to keep doing this, I better have some fun with it. So I go and pick up an addition to the clan, which is now Detective Kringle. Detective Kringle, which Georgia told her teachers looks like a rapper.
I mean, she's not wrong.
Uh, okay. Um, happens to maybe look a little bit like a Snoop Dogg. Um, he might be a Snoop on the scoop, not on the scoop. What is he? On the
Stoop.
stoop. On the stoop. Yeah. Um,
Have you seen all of the other things? Have you?
no.
Um, gosh, I don't know what it's called. There's a Jewish one too. Have you seen that one?
No, no.
Okay, I have to look it up because I don't want to be offensive with what I say, but
Okay.
continue on about Snoop.
Okay. So I go to what other place would have a Snoop on a stoop about Walmart. So I go and I do a pickup order at Walmart and I order Detective Kringle. And I have this beautiful letter that I did on Canva that's like from Santa Claus. And he is talking about Detective Kringle watching over Margaret and all of these things. And which it actually is really cute because my brother-in-law and sister-in-law, their kids are getting to the age where they're basically being phased out of the magic and the belief. And
Yes.
I posted a picture on the photo stream of Detective Kringle and Margaret and the letter. And my nephew was like, he is real. Look at that letter. That letter is, that's like from the North Pole. And I'm like, okay,
Yes.
Canva.
Yes, it
Okay.
is.
Okay. Okay. So, it was great and we got by. But I mean, I am like sweating. Okay. Meanwhile, this is like the week that we have to leave out of town. Meanwhile, I make homemade tamales. I make jars of salsa and this is not just for our family. I make it for teachers, Tony's coworkers, our family, everyone. And I'm jarring salsa. I'm making homemade tamales. I'm doing two classroom parties. One is the Polar Express themed, and the other is just hot cocoa bar station with treats. I am decorating the school. We have a winter concert. I have stuff to still wrap, pack, do because we have both of our families' Christmases the week before Christmas. But basically, we have to be ready the week before Christmas. And we have to still also have our home ready so that when we return, the magic is here and Santa has come and the house is clean because mom doesn't want to be in a bad mood when she walks in from being gone for 6 days and there's dog hair everywhere and laundry isn't done and things are a mess. So stockings are full, everything is wrapped, everything has a gift card on it, everything has a from Santa or from mommy or whatever. Tony has to build a bike, he has to build an easy rider, he has to build a gymnastics bar and a high beam. And I mean, we are like gonna lose our fucking mind at this.
Well, that is why for other parents, they will be like me and they won't be extra. So much easier.
Well, but here's what I'll say. It would have been easier had we had Christmas in our hometown and we were
Yes.
home, but
Yes,
traveling,
for
which is why
sure.
I need everyone's advice. All right, tell me what you found about
Oh, I don't know how to say it, and I'm not trying to be rude or anything. I'm just gonna say it this way because it rhymes with bench, but the minch on a bench.
oh, it's like a Hanukkah,
I don't know how to
a
say it,
new
but yeah.
Hanukkah family tradition.
There's
I
also a
wonder.
Schmelf a Hanukkah elf, but I think that's like the Elf on a Shelf maker made a Hanukkah one probably after this one,
Well, I would love to transition our elves to Mary on the Mantle. So
so that she stays on a mantle.
yes, and it's just about reading verses and scripture every day
I like
about
that.
the birth of Christ. I
Yeah,
mean, to me, it's like, okay, we
that's a
need
good
it.
idea.
Yes, let's transition to that. I am so done with this.
Look,
However,
what you can do is 1 year
kill
have
Santa.
Margaret.
Oh, okay.
No, no. I mean, maybe, but have Margaret bring a letter and say, because you guys are getting older, I think it's really important that we focus on the reason behind Christmas. Blah blah blah. Make one season that.
And I do make sure that all of my letters and all of my notes from Margaret, from Santa, from anyone, from Detective Gringle, Snoopaloop, that they all talk about that the reason, the true reason behind Christmas is the birth of Jesus,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
celebrating that. But I would love to do that. I would love to transition it into that way more. We didn't have Mary on the Mantle back then. That just is something I found this year from actually from our friend who sent it to me. But it was like into the season already where it was like going to take 2 extra weeks to order and it wasn't going to come on
Oh,
time.
that's cute. That's
But
really
yeah,
cute.
yeah, I think that would be a good transition. But for all the parents out there who survived Christmas, cheers to you because whew, it is rough. That's what's keeping the magic alive of Christmas, which, oh, by the way, we saw Red One with the kids last night
Oh,
and so cute.
I
So,
fell
so
asleep.
cute. I thought it was really cute. Um, the girls realized that we call Uncle J Rock because
Oh,
of the rock. Like we had that explanation, and Georgia was like, so she's like, oh my gosh, that's so
that's
funny.
so funny.
Yeah.
Oh, I love it. Oh, that's hilarious.
Um,
Um,
I think we should take a quick break.
okay.
We come back, we can talk more about Christmas. I want to know your boys are older, so you don't have to worry about keeping Elf on the Shelf alive, but how did your Christmas go?
All right.
All right, we'll be right back. Segment music by Callie Grace. For more of Callie Grace's hits, follow Callie Grace on iTunes and Spotify today. Hey guys, we're back.
Hey.
You're right over there?
Yeah, I was just like, where am I gonna? My cocktail waitress did not take my empty drink, so I guess I'm bussing my own table.
Okay, so we talked a little bit about trying to keep all the magic alive in my house, but you don't have to worry about that. However,
No.
you hosted Christmas again this year,
Yes.
and we got to come over for a little bit and see you guys, but how was Christmas at the Real Ash's house?
I know that was so nice. I was so happy to have you guys here. So I am going to make an unpopular statement, I think.
Mhm.
Um my my family that celebrates together is very small. It's me, Jason, our kids, um my brother, his kids. So that's 3 of them, 4 of us unless one of the girls is here or both the girls. My other brother with his 2, so 4 of them, and my mom. Very small group. Um, I don't know why I stress so much over it, but it gets me so, rattled. I don't know. I get so I don't even wanna say I feel anxious because I don't think I feel anxious really. I think I feel like, um, gosh, I just feel on edge. Like, I
Okay.
feel very short. I feel like things need to be done. They need to be done right. They need to be my whole family, we run late. Like, we told you a time, you were like, "We'll go a couple hours later, and people will
Mhm.
have already been there, whatever." And you showed up a couple hours late. Some were here, some were not,
Mhm.
because we are always late, which that's how we always are every
Mhm.
holiday. That stresses me out. Um, it stresses me out, like, getting everything together, getting even though it's just a few of us. This is like we will have the same people over barbecuing for just like, "Hey, let's have everyone over to barbecue." And it's not the same. Like, I'm not stressed out. Why am I so stressed out on Christmas? I feel like it makes me not want to do holidays.
Do you just feel the pressure? Let me ask you this. We're kind of the outsiders coming into your home on Christmas Day, and I say that because it's not like your immediate family, it's not your siblings and your mom. If you only had your siblings and your mom and you didn't have us or just outside people, would you be as stressed?
Yeah. Yeah. Every holiday. And I it does not make any sense to me why I do this because I will stress about all of these things.
Okay, let me ask you another question. If because so yes, Ashley's right. I showed up a few hours late because I know how they all run and operate. And so I was like, oh, well, I was only going to be an hour late because I figured an hour in, Ashley's mom will show up.
Yes.
But I ended up being 2 hours. And when I arrived, actually, Ashley's mom was the only one there and her nephews.
Only because my
But
brother had left.
but
But he was there.
it's because he had left. He was there and then he left. But then the other brother and his family had not even gotten there. And they had came very late with main staples for the meal. So let me ask you this, and I say this because I have done this many times with my family. Depending on them for things is very difficult and very stressful. As much as they're adults and they have their own families and all of the things, I don't know why they cannot be trusted with these these jobs. But they really can't be trusted with these jobs. I mean, truly, honestly, I mean, we had the same situation where my mom made pozole and asada for tacos, and my aunt made enchiladas. Like there was like all of these main foods, and we had one of my brothers say he was bringing him and his wife were bringing all of the fixings for them. She's going to be so mad at me when she hears this, but
That you
it's
called
like
them fixings? Or you mean
no,
that
no, that
okay,
I'm
you
calling her
had
out there, but it
okay.
was like
Oh.
they were so late. They were like an hour and a half late to Christmas. And I'm like, everyone is hungry. Everyone wants to eat. And you show up with you're the one that has all the toppings and you're not on time. Like bring the dessert if you're not going to be on time, you know? And so I'm sure that that has a lot of your stress with it is that you're depending on other people and they're not on time. Don't you feel like that's part of it?
You know what? You could be right. So, um, my poor sister-in-law, she normally, that that normally isn't an issue for her. She had a lot to drink the night before, so I think
Serves
she
every
was not
parent's right.
expecting.
Yes.
Yeah. So, she norm I we don't normally have that kind of like, yes, we're always running late, but I it's normally not like that. Um, but I think you're onto something when you say the having to depend on them because even my now thinking about it, even my mom was gonna be late, which my mom and I were at the hospital the night before. We were in the ER. I didn't get home until around 1:30. Jason and I didn't go to bed until like 4 in the morning. And we're supposed to have everyone over at 10. I said 10, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
So we're supposed to have everybody over at 10. So I had expected I expect everyone to be late in general just because everyone is always late. But I expected my mom to be late also because I figured she would be pretty tired. And so
Which your
that
mom is fine.
yeah, that was not something I wasn't expecting. But even that, not the fact that my mom was late, but I think it is partially not being in control of the stuff. Like, once my
100%.
mom got there, then I have to figure out, where is this gonna go? How are we gonna put this out? Where is it gonna be at? Like, all of that type of stuff.
So,
So,
I
that
agree.
stressed me out. So, even though that wasn't an issue, like, it wasn't I was so worried about her being late or anything, but having to figure all that stuff out, and then questions, there's always questions like, "Where do you want this? Where do you want that?" It's like, I I want you to just not ask me any questions. Just leave it. Like, I would just like to be in control of it. Let me handle it. Stop trying to help. Like, Steven at one point told my mom, "Mom, you are stressing Ashley out because you are not sitting down and resting. You need to sit down and you need to rest and let her do it." And she's like, "Well, I don't want her to have to do all of it." But it's one of those things where I would rather do all of it, because you're stressing me out asking me questions. You're stressing me out trying to make me figure things out when I'm not there yet, kind of thing. So maybe it is that type of thing.
So, there's two ways, and I'm serious about this. So, you have to consider this for following years. There's two ways you can handle it. And truly, is much of a I would say maybe a financial burden of like hosting everything for everyone. And I mean, not that it's a burden, but I'm just saying, like, just taking care of it all. It does take off the pressure of waiting on anyone else. And also, like, let's be honest, there are some people who don't know how to cook. Okay. I'm just going to say it. Like, it's true. Like, we have people
I know
in
that
our
person in
family.
my family.
Okay. So, in our family, we
See,
do have people who can't cook a fucking dish to save their life. Okay. They just can't. They're not cookers. They're not bakers. They're not fucking anything. They're not the homemakers. Okay. And so, what are they going to do? Like, what are they going to make? You know what they end up doing? They end up bringing a bag of chips. Okay. I don't need a bag of chips. I can go buy a $2 bag of chips if I really wanted a bag of chips at my house. Okay. So either you say, everyone bring your own drinks and we'll handle all the food. Or you can say, everyone, this is what we're going to do. Everyone's going to put in a pot of $40 and I'm going to go buy everything. And that's how we're going to do it. Or because they really want to contribute and they really want to help or whatever it is. Or you guys can all bring an appetizer. That's why everything I have, I'm like, you can bring an appetizer or you can bring dessert. Typically, I have at least 2 appetizers ready to go and I have 1 dessert. And if they bring more than that, then that's great. But I supply the main dish because I'm depending only on myself solely. And I know when the timing will be right. I know it'll taste good. I know it'll be what I want it to be and all of those things. And I don't have to worry about anyone doing anything. And it takes so much pressure off of you. It's a lot of work on the other end of like just getting it all ready. But, you know, you don't have to wait for anyone to get it together and bring it or not bring it or forget or run 3
that's
hours
where, which,
late or whatever.
so
I
like,
mean,
my brother, the reason he was gone when you got there was actually because my mom forgot. So we did brunch, and my mom forgot the locks. She forgot eggs. She was gonna bring eggs too, which probably not super necessary. I don't even think anyone ate any of the eggs. But it was also disorganized too, so I feel like that's why there was a lot of stuff that wasn't eaten, or like stuff that all of that was eaten, because it was like when certain things came. Like Steven, I had to tell him, I'm like, stop eat, like, he almost ate all of the pinwheels. I'm like, the rest of us want to have some of those. Like, I wasn't eating before all of the food got there because
right.
I wanted to make myself a plate, like, of the food, right? No, he was like, I'm hungry. I'm like, I'm freaking hungry too. Okay, calm down.
But everyone's running 2 to 3 hours late. And so
Yes.
we all have to wait. And I'm telling you, and I mean, imagine having more siblings and it just
No. That's why I think
It's a
God
lot.
does God does stuff on purpose, right?
Yeah.
Like I always say, I feel that um I was given biologically boys because I'm a psycho, and giving me a biological girl who is like me, probably not a good idea. Jason probably would have divorced me because he'd be like, "I cannot deal with this broad and this other broad," okay? Um,
One
but
I can leave and one I can't.
exactly, yeah, he's stuck. So, I'm like, I think, yeah, we would have been an even bigger disaster. So, nope, there is a reason behind it. But I think what is going to be best for me and my sanity is probably just I don't do holidays at my home anymore, and I just show up and bring stuff, right?
So
Then
can you just, if it's not done in your home, can you
I
just
think
deal with
so.
it?
I think I can. I mean, we aren't always at my house. We've had it at my mom's house, and we've done holidays where like we're camping or something like that, and it's fine, but for some reason when it's here, I get so stressed.
Yeah.
So yeah, if I just
Yeah.
had to show up, if I didn't have to worry about and the craziest thing is, like, I don't think it's necessary for me to worry about these things. I don't think any of my family I mean, Jason might be like, "What the heck?" Because Jason wasn't born into the family, right? Like, that's not what he's necessarily used to.
Used to.
It's been a long time since he's
Yeah.
been a part of our family, so yes and no, but, um, I think, like, he's more easygoing than I am,
Yeah.
but both of my
He was
siblings
stressed out too, though.
yeah, yeah, he
He
was.
was.
He was, and I think part of it was me. Like, I stress
Yeah.
him out because I start getting so uptight that I think, like, he's like, "Gosh," like, now I'm making him feel that way. But, yeah, I think my brothers, I think my sister-in-law, I think my mom, none of
Off.
them would have cared
No.
about, like, if something wasn't there that was supposed to be there, if
Right.
something showed up late, something burnt, whatever, I don't think any of them would care. It's a me thing.
You had plenty of food. You had tons of food. You
I
probably
know.
had to throw a lot out. I mean, you had a lot
Yeah,
of food.
I think so. I think we did throw. Some of it we just didn't even try to store. It just straight to the trash, actually.
Yeah. I like the
But
giant bowl of oatmeal.
oatmeal
Oatmeal.
the oatmeal, yeah. It was better when it was fresh. And I see, and that's probably maybe I should have stopped and had, like, a bowl of oatmeal and, like, calm down, eat something,
Yes. Yeah.
then maybe I wouldn't I don't think I get hangry, but who knows?
Well,
Maybe some of it is that I'm hungry.
it's really funny. So, thinking about it from another perspective, where I'm always hosting, and I now have relinquished those
I know.
duties, and I have my mom host it, right? Because we don't live in town anymore. And my mom host it. And I mean, my parents were exhausted. And my my aunt goes, because we're like, me and my aunt are like sitting in a corner. We're like little old biddies, like talking shit, sitting in the corner, talking about everybody. And she's like, your mom, she looks tired. I told her, I told her, I told her, Michelle, you look tired. She goes, I am tired. I didn't even get to get ready, and blah, blah, blah. And she goes, yeah, imagine if you like did all this and then you were like dressed and had your hair done and your makeup. I go, oh, like me every year? Like me every year where I'm still like dressed up for Christmas? And she's like, well, yeah, or like a housewife. Like, think about the housewives that like do all this and then they throw these lavish parties. I'm like, yeah, well, they have help. I don't even have help. I
Yeah.
go, my poor mom just looked, I mean, she looked beat the fuck up at the end of the night. She just looked so tired. She did great. Everything was fine and everyone had a great time and I'm very grateful and stuff. But it is a lot to host. It is a lot. It's a lot to host.
Yeah.
It's hard to watch other, and I mean, I always look at people in a different light. Like, I think because I've hosted so many things, like when I go anywhere, I want to be helpful because I know what it takes to put something like this on. I felt bad leaving your house. We went to a
Oh.
different party and I didn't even help with any cleanup at
Oh,
all.
stop it.
But everyone was still like in the middle of
Yes.
celebrating because everyone had
Yes.
just gotten there finally. It was really time for us to leave.
Yeah.
But I know what it takes. I know it's a lot. And um, you do it because you love to host, but or to be with your family, but
Yes.
it's just a lot to put together. And so I go to the next party and I look at the next party and I'm like, oh my gosh, I mean, the party we were at has like the entire dining room is a giant table full of food, different buffet foods that mostly they all cooked. Some people brought some things and they had like a full bar and everything. And there is like just people, just constant, 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 constant. And I'm like,
I'd die if I had to
oh
do
shit.
something
I
like
mean,
that.
it is
But I
like
know they love to do that,
they love
right?
it.
You said they do it every year. They
They do it
love it.
every year and we never go because by Christmas morning, I am like dead. I am so done. The only thing I want to do is go to church and then I just want to go home and drink all the champagne that I have in my refrigerator and let the kids play with all their toys and just lay there and be nothing on the couch. And we had a very different Christmas this year doing that,
Yeah.
um but it's just very interesting. It's very, very interesting to see both sides of everything. And
Yeah.
um, I look at it and I just think like I hope that these younger kids, including my own children, like understand like it's a lot to do things like this, and we need to be grateful to the people who put these on, and we need to be helpful where we can be helpful, whether that's making something, cleaning up something, organizing something. My aunt said that my mom was like, well, and then I guess we could do this game and whatever. This was like before Christmas. And my aunt's like, you don't have to do everything like Priscilla did. Like, just, it's okay. Just do it. Take it easy and stuff.
Oh, that's
And
great.
she's like, okay. And then she, my aunt made a good point. She goes, if the kids really feel like they're missing something and they want to do a game, then someone can be in charge of that next year
Yeah.
and they can put a game on. It doesn't have to be you.
Yeah. Yeah. No, that's a great idea. And like, I mean, sometimes it's okay to just not like remember I was like, I'm gonna make this and I'm gonna make this. And then I didn't end up making the other thing because I was like, it's just like it's too late. I wanted it to be fresh. I'm not gonna make it now. It was just like, just forget about it, right?
Yeah.
Whatever. But I think we get into the we just want everyone to have everything
Yeah. Yeah.
kind of thing. Like your mom's just like she probably there it's a big change for everyone, I'm sure.
Yeah.
And probably like thinking about how you guys are this is your first holiday away, right? So you guys are
Yeah.
back in town, but it's not the same. So she's probably wanting it to be the same for you guys
I
too.
know. And I would really love for people to chime in and give us advice on this because I just don't know what to do. I mean, a part of me is like, it's great because the kids get to be with their cousins and they get to spend time and they get to like be with my family. And I don't not want to have Christmas with my family, but at the same time, like it's it's a lot.
Yeah. I already told Jason, I said, I don't know that the Montels are gonna be here next Christmas.
I don't
I don't know
I
that
don't
they're gonna make
know.
it back.
I don't know. I don't know if we can do this again. I really don't. I don't know that I want to do this again. I
Yeah.
think that's the hard part. It would be one thing if I was like, it's a lot of work, but I had the best time doing it. It was well worth it. No, I don't want to say well worth it because that makes it sound like I don't want to be with my family or I didn't feel like my family was of that value. It's not that. It's just, would
You
I
could
rather
have
just
saved
be,
yourself a lot of trouble.
yeah, would I rather just be home with my kids?
Well, I
Maybe.
mean, it was a lot of money. You guys had to board the
Yeah.
dogs, you guys
Yeah.
had to get a rental.
A lot of
Um,
money.
there's a lot of money involved in that.
Yeah.
So it's, I mean, there's a lot involved.
Yeah.
So, um, I get that. Like
Yeah. I
sometimes,
mean,
I
we
mean,
could,
with Thanksgiving last year, we did it in Scottsdale. It was just me, Jason, the boys, and Kyla. Very small, obviously not normal, but also very much like a very enjoyable Thanksgiving. It was very laid back, very like it was just us. We just hung out all day, that kind of thing. And it was okay. Like it wasn't the same, but it was still good. It was a good Thanksgiving. So
yeah. I think,
sometimes you have to give and take.
yeah. I think it'll be interesting to have a conversation with my kids as they're getting a little bit older and just being
Yeah.
able to like figure things out a little bit more of sitting down with them and saying, what is the most important to you?
Yeah.
Because either we can't do all of these things and do this, or and I've never had to do that. Just living away is just different for us.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um so I don't know. We have decisions to make, I guess, on that.
You have a year.
Yeah, we have a
Almost,
year.
almost a
Yeah,
year. But
almost a year.
I mean, and like another thing that you guys have to think about, like you guys said, is that Christmas is going to be even longer this
Yes,
next year because of the time,
the dates,
because you guys always do that
the weekend
specific
before.
yes. So it is a longer time frame. So
Yeah.
there's that.
Yeah. And
But
we talked about, okay, do we just like fly, 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 but how many flights were canceled and delayed and delayed? And I mean, it's
yeah,
bad. It's not like an ideal time to travel,
no.
especially like Central Valley, like going into California, it's very foggy. And so it's not always easy to fly into.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah, you guys probably look great over there. And
we
then
do. We
here
look
they're like,
great.
well, we
Yeah.
can't land.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
So
I don't know. I'm
we'll
up
figure it
for
out.
I'm up for
Suggestions?
any suggestions and advice.
Yes. Well, thank you so much, guys. So good to see your beautiful face, Pete. And we will
Yes.
talk to you guys soon.
Okay, thanks for swapping with us.